So just been fitting the walls for the balconies, and they are coming along. These first ones I had to do, I just had to fit them all first, and then from there I've made a pattern. So here's my pattern. I don't know if you can see, but this end's a 38mm gap, this end's 40mm gap. And the way I have worked out to fit these is that I will cut a wedge shape in here, two bevel edges effectively, and same here, and then I will flex it and bend it, because I found that this is a more efficient way of cutting these pieces, and also they seem to fit better. Also it means that they do seem to have a tendency to snap, but I've just been using super glue as a filler and then sanding them back. So first of all, I'll just show you how I'm beveling these. Just getting steel edge, steel straight edge, and I'm getting it, I don't know, probably about 2-3 mil away. Getting my trusty craft blade, maybe a little bit closer than that. I'm trying to cut these steep. There's an element of fitting. They don't. I don't have an exact angle for you, and also it's not so easy as well. 45 degrees, because it's not a 90-degree corner that I'm going around. So I'm cutting in one angle there, and cutting the other angle in here. Remember, I'm just using the knife to cut that diagonal out clean. Yeah, there's just a bit of a wedge there. It's alright, it's refusing to focus. So there's that wedge there, so if you see it in profile. And then just cutting it until you're going almost all the way through the material. And this works with the palite. I wouldn't say that you could do this with foam board. It would work really well with foam board as a lazy way of fitting things. It works well with the palite because not the easiest material to work with. It's just need to cut far enough through. And this is a blade control game. You want to cut hard enough, firmly enough to cut deep into the material, but you don't want to cut all the way through. Also, if you don't cut far enough of the way through, you will find that the material cracks because you haven't cut far enough through, and the pressure where it bends will actually force its way out through the leading edge, and that will stop it from giving a well, as neater flex as you can. Like I say, I've been getting away with using super glue as a filling agent, and then just a little bit of gentle sand back. I might, once I've undercoated, done the first tier of spray paint, I may well give it another light sanding, especially around these kind of most exposed areas / leading corner edges of the building. Just to even things out again, and then give it another undercoat. I wouldn't be too afraid of things like that. So yeah, and you can see it's starting to give. It's not just shearing through at the front. So now I just have to keep doing this. Again, fitting process takes time. And I'm working on 4 of these. So we've been getting a bit behind with everything. That's probably enough. To then flip around, move on to the other side. Again, about 2-3 mil. None of this is 100% accurate, as you can tell. But that's the nature of the beast. This is just a kind of a quick, lazy, easy way of fitting these kinds of pieces. I've cut that one much cleaner than the other one. In fact, it's almost right. It just needs a bit coming away at the bottom. There you have your flexing balcony wall, and that is essentially ready for the next stage of fitting. Okay, so there's a right and a wrong way around for this. This is the 38mm end, and it's 38mm because it has to fit in there, whereas it's 40mm end, which means that the longest out exterior edge has to fit out to this exterior edge. So it is important, because one, you bevel one way, so this one gets beveled towards me, whereas this one gets beveled away from me. So this is going to have this corner cut off, whereas this is going to have this corner, which is the interior corner, exterior corner. So when I'm doing this, I'm just using my long blade is craft knife. Shouldn't be leaving the blades out on things. And I am guessing, and I'm cutting as clean and straight a line as I can, and then cleaning it up. I've actually been finding that I don't really need to use any sanding. In fact, when I sand it, it often ends up not coming out square. So then that is the angle which will fit into the wall, and then this needs to be a little bit steeper, I've found. Oopsie, I've cut into the material a bit. That'll be all good. I do oversize these ever so slightly so that they are being cut back to fit. But that might have been a bit of an oversight. So here I just flex it into place. You can see that it's not quite got enough cut into these edges, but this fits right into the gap, bends, and that bends and goes flushed up to that wall. So I'm just going to clean this up, and once I've got it, I'll show you fitting it into place. Okay, so just fitting this into place. I am running glue into the gaps that I've cut in, so into the two V's. I'm running it down the outer edge. I'm running it down the other outer edge. Now, again, I've kind of botched up this. It's not perfect. As ever, nothing is perfect. Also, maybe I'm rushing a bit too much, but it's taken me like 12 hours or something, 8 hours, 9 hours to fit like a set of things. And to be quite honest with you, I just keep on running out of time because I'm trying to do everything at once right now, and that's never a good idea. You can see there's a line-up issue on the left-hand side where the balcony doesn't come flush to the edge of the wall, which is actually really quite annoying. Also, I just stuck my fingers to it. I'm just going to try and make that line up. I cut off too much, which was a dumb error on my part. I've just fitted another building, and I did a better job of it than I've done with this. This is yeah. What I'm going to have to do, you see, is I'm going to have to fit another piece of material. I'm just going to have to go in here. It's probably going to be too big right now. But I'm not really. See, I've got various off-cutty bits just left sculling about. You see that fills up that gap, but a little bit too much, so then I'm just going to cut it back. And yeah, this seems a bit of a weird way of going about it, but actually, again, this is sort of the difference between fitting something and you never know exactly what's going to be the right size anyway, so you can't really measure it to fit. And even if you do measure it, it might not work out quite right. But what I've got here now is I've got a piece of material that if I stick it all together, just hold it in place. What you can't see is that just inside this edge there is a gap. So again, I'm just taking bits of off-cut material, and I'm not concerned about filling the gap entirely. What I am concerned about is giving something that glue can bond to, so that I have something to make the surface secure and join surfaces together. And now you see I'm just running the glue into these gaps, and I'm using the glue in this way essentially as a filler, because I know I'll give it a good sanding in a bit. Fortunately, it didn't actually crack along the front here, and I have found on other ones that I've done so far, all the other building that I've done so far, the cracking has been an issue. So I'm just going to let that dry, and then I'll just show you sanding black. Okay, so here's one where I bodged up and I cut through, and just to make the point, don't worry about it, I've got the other piece here, I've fit this. And again, just running glue into the gap. And either hand along the edge, which will stick to the leading edge of the floor. And then I've already fitted this, so I know that it will. Did a bad job at the left hand end, I don't know if you can see that. Also, if you didn't know, super glue was originally designed for sealing wounds under war circumstances. This is why the thing that is best at sticking is your fingers. However, with this material, you know, I am pretty impressed with how it responds. Now I have misaligned these, but I'll sand it out later. So again, I'm just running glue into gaps. My things are already caked in super glue, so I'm not really fussed about getting any more on them. Fingers are the best thing for smearing super glue about with, in case you were wondering. Sorry for blocking light, just making sure that I'm getting into all the gaps. And it's just because I don't necessarily want them to be perfect corners or what have you, but what I do want is for them to be smooth, solid and continuous as much as I can manage. So then, just so you can see, once these have dried up a bit, they're pretty solid. So I'm taking sandpaper, preferably a fresh bit. Especially with this fine grain stuff, you're going to need to change it pretty constantly. Especially when you're doing this kind of work where it kind of really matters that these sandpaper or glass paper, if you want to be a pedant, is doing what you want. So then, as you can see, hopefully in just a second, I'm just relatively easily try and keep it flush to the panel. And it's brilliant, coming in line pretty easily. In terms of that top edge, I will just take a knife later. So here it is. All balconies have been put in, sanded back, ready for initial painting. A couple of minis there just to give you a sense of scale. It's beginning to look properly like buildings now. I think also after my initial belief you could probably make one of these in a day, I think if you sat down and you spent Saturday and Sunday just making one of these, you could probably get one made. I'm making 4 simultaneously, and it's sort of it's taken me 1.5 weeks now. So that's like 60 hours for building, so it's probably gonna be like 2 full weeks in order to get these done. So 80 hours for 4 buildings, so you're looking at 20 hours of building. So in all honesty, no, you're probably going to do this as a project over a series of weekends over the course of a month or something if you're really game for making them. Next time it will be just showing the difference between fitting these balconies and these balconies, because you can't do these as a single piece. So enjoy your modelling, have good and take care, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.